40-year-old woman gets salty over 40-year-old men dating younger women from the 33 Secrets.
I had a man say to me once that the reason that he likes dating younger women is because they're not so angry. He literally was like, I like younger women because they're still so sweet. Like, yeah, babe, it's a lack of experience with your literal gender. They don't know yet. Nobody likes an angry woman, right? It's okay to be a little angry, though.
No, baby doll. It's not that these younger women don't know yet. It's that they have not yet been ran through by Chad, Pookie, and the Tyrones of the world on these dating apps throughout their 20s and into their 30s, where now they are bitter and resentful and angry towards men.
I love this guy. And I just recorded a video. I don't know if you watched it, but it was from the Whatever podcast. And it was this woman doing exactly what he's saying here. This woman got married to a guy, ended up divorcing him because she was comparing him to the past men that she had slept with. So she was a little bit older and had a lot of, maybe not a lot, but she had sexual mates, partners, whatever, before she was with this guy. So exactly what he's saying. No. You think your experience makes you more valuable to men? No, it's just got to come with more problems. It's like that tape analogy. It's like you put a piece of tape on something and you peel it off. And the more time you do that, it's going to get less sticky. And so that's kind of like the analogy when it comes to pair bonding. And as these women get older, it's just, and then they're also quite jaded. Yes, they're ran through. Yes, they come with bad attitudes. Yes, they become bitter. Yes, it's just best you get them when they are in their 20s, not 40. You're 40 and single. Hold on. Why? Have you ever been married? No. Are you widowed? No. Are you a single mom? No. 40 and single, never been married, and not widowed. That is concerning. It really is.
Okay? So it has nothing to do with them not knowing yet. It has all to do with them not experiencing that. And that is what we're here to prevent them from doing, is following in your footsteps, where you rode the carousel, rode the CC in your 20s, and now you're angry about it because you're no longer getting the attention nor the validation from those dudes that you once had access to.
Yeah.
You no longer have access to these guys, and you're upset about it. So yeah, he's right. You're angry about it, right? He just probably couldn't cohesively put it into words in a way where it would make more sense to you. But that's what we're here for. So yes, you've got to love it, guys, how these 40-year-old...
Yeah, I mean, if I was 40 years old, there's no way I'm going to date. Maybe not no way, all right? I would prefer to not date a woman my age. Like if I'm 40 years old, shit, yeah, I'm going to go for the 30-year-olds or even younger if I can. But, I'm in my 20s. I'm still okay with dating women who are my age because they are also still in their 20s. But if I was, 35, 40, I'm not interested in dating women my age if I'm still single at that point. So 40-year-old females are definitely going to be bitter and mad that the men their age are dating younger. Hey, man, I had to realize this when I was younger. When I went into high school, I realized all the girls that were into me in middle school, they were going after the juniors and seniors now that we were freshmen. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so this is how it goes.
Old women are so salty over guys their own age, guys our age, who are just passing them up for women half their age, right? Women half our age, right? We're just passing them up and we're just kind of stepping over them, right? Like a pile of turd or something. We're stepping right over them, or a tumbleweed to put it nicer. Stepping right over them to get to the cream of the crop of the women out there, the younger women. So the fact that these chicks just can't take the L, they just can't freaking admit defeat for once, right? Just be a good opponent and just admit when you've lost, right? Just admit that, you played the game and you lost. You didn't cash in your chips. You're still out there. You're screwed. Have a little more character, because then we would have more respect for you, right? We'd have a whole lot more respect for you, because let's be honest. I mean, these older women act as if, okay, they act as if we are going for these younger women so we can take advantage of them, right? So we can take advantage of their, their naivete or their goal.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll hear these women say, well, what do you have in common with a 20-year-old? You're 30. What do you have in common with a 20-year-old? We both like sex. Is that enough for you? Both like sex. We're both attracted to each other. Is that good enough? Do you consent? Are you okay with that, old lady? It's funny when it comes to modern liberal, leftist women. They're all about, hey, if two consenting adults approve, what do you care? Why do you care? Except when it comes to men dating younger women, all of a sudden, they don't approve. All of a sudden, love is love goes out the window, doesn't it?
And it's like, no, we just want the best that we can get. We want what we deserve now, right? We want what we've worked for, right? If you've worked hard your whole life, like I have.
Yep, he's spitting. But let's move on to the next one.
About it or something. Like, oh, I've gotten every...
Just parking behind me. But anyway, let's go roll on to the next clip, shall we?
Oh, girls are like, oh, I've gotten every single guy I've ever wanted. Like, they're bragging about it or something. This is how delusional I am. This is how I thought it works, I'm like, well, duh, you're a girl. Don't we just get everything we ever wanted? Like, that's what's going on in my brain. Because since I was little, I'm like, I thought women just get the pick of the litter. I just thought, like, we get to be like, I want that one and I'll get it. I didn't know there was a chance I wasn't going to get it because I always got it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
All right, so this chick is 24 years old, okay? Of course, she is going to get whatever she wants, right? And we're just talking about this, guys. Like, these chicks, when they're young, they've got the world at their fingertips and they can get pretty much whatever they want. So it's not until they hit their 30s and beyond where they lose access to that. Okay?
I think a woman like that is going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy to tell her behavior and her attitude right from the jump. You go on 1 date with her, 2 dates, 3 dates. You pretty much understand how she thinks. You pretty much understand how she acts. And you can just tell she is one of these spoiled modern women, kind of with an attitude, not going to be that great to be with. Isn't down to earth. Personally for me, I really like that. And the women that I see is I like them to be down to earth and not super materialistic, kind of quiet, not loud. Anyways, that's sort of my type. But when it comes to a chick like that, my God, you just avoid at all costs. She's attractive, right? But you definitely don't want to get into a relationship with her. That's a big L on your part if you do that. With a chick like that, you know what I would recommend. I wouldn't take a chick like that seriously. She's talking about how she had everything she wanted in life. She's coming off very spoiled. I didn't say that, did I? I didn't say she was coming off very spoiled. Big time. And a woman like this, if she comes across a guy who makes her chase, who if he ignores her and makes her work, she's definitely going to like the guy more, obviously, because she is one of these damaged modern women who really want what doesn't want them. Like a healthy woman, a sign of a good girl, a good woman, a healthy woman who isn't completely destroyed and can't pair bond and is ran through and is raised on values that aren't appropriate. I don't know. a good way to tell is if she finds men who are interested in her attractive, more attractive. Like that's how you know that's a good woman, is if she finds a reciprocation of interest to be attractive. And with a lot of these modern women, you'll find that when they come across a man who shows lack of interest, they become quite interested in him. And when it comes to women who I think are better women, they're going to find a man who is into them attractive. They're going to think, okay, this would probably be a good long-term boyfriend for me. This could quite possibly be a husband. They're thinking long-term. They aren't thinking about hookups. They aren't thinking about short-term dopamine. They're thinking, okay, he seems like a good guy, treats me well. He's attractive. He's got his shit together. He's showing interest. This could be a good boyfriend for me. This could be a good husband for me. That's the difference between like a good woman, a woman who is sane and isn't completely fucking burnt out mentally. Just her programming isn't all jacked up. Is if she finds interest, a reciprocation of interest to be good. It's a good thing. Whereas with a woman like this spoiled brat here, she's probably going to find a guy who's reciprocating interest, but I'm good. I should look for a different guy.
Access to that, and they can't anymore get these type of guys that they're used to. They can no longer get those dudes. But this chick is clearly, she's in her prime. And, if she's smart, like we talk about in this channel, she needs to do what? Go to the cashier, give the cashier her chips, and be like, I'm out, right? I'm out. I'm done.
Cash out.
Simple as that. That's all you got to do. Don't stay out there. Do not stay out there, ladies, because the longer you stay out there, the worse it will get, right? That is what you should be using your 20s for. Find a good guy who's got his crap together, right? Maybe you don't get a guy with a Lambo. Maybe you don't get the guy with a 7-figure business. Maybe you get a guy who's making, $50K a year, $80K a year. That's good money. It's good money. I would have taken it. Good money. And he's willing to be loyal to you. Cash in your chips.
Yep.
Okay? Don't stay out there.
But that's the thing. These modern women don't do that. They don't cash in early, and they stick around. They stay out on the streets for an extended period of time until they're in their 40s, late 30s, early 30s even maybe. And then they're like, okay, I'm done with the guys who aren't interested in me. I'm done with letting them sleep with me and not commit. Now let me go get a guy who is happy to commit. Let me give him a boring sex life for eternity, because I will always be comparing him to the men I've been with in the past. And let me make his life a living hell. Let me walk all over him and then inevitably divorce him. That is a very pessimistic view on it. I agree. However, we cannot deny this is what is happening a lot, especially the fact that 70 to 90% of these divorces are initiated by women. And people want to point at the men and say, well, yeah, the women are divorcing the men because the men suck. It's the men's fault. And that's a little bit too simple of an explanation. And I don't believe it. I actually think a lot of men are great guys. I think a lot of men are great. I really do. I don't believe this idea or this stigma out there that just men itself are all toxic and masculinity bad and men just lazy, suck. I don't buy it. I think a lot of these women get bored in these marriages. They're raised in a secular world. They don't have a community. It's very easy to initiate divorce. Matter of fact, they're incentivized in many situations. It's like maybe these women can become chronic marriage recipients. I don't know how to articulate that. And they can just start racking up alimony checks from multiple men. I don't know if there's a law preventing that. Not sure. But, hey man, stats don't lie. 70 to 90% of women initiate divorce. So, whatever.
Don't stay out there. My advice. Me to you. Free.
Or the divorces that are initiated are done by women 70 to 90% of the time. That's what I meant.
You don't need to tap the credit card for that. I'm not going to be like your therapist, like swipe it. Okay, give me the three digits on the back of your card. Okay, $500. What do you want me to tell you? I'm not even gonna do that to you, girl. I'm just gonna be honest with you. All right, next clip.
You ever been out with friends and realized that you were the only one not getting hit on? And then immediately thinking it's because you exist in a bigger body? It's horrible because you know that like male attention isn't the end all be all, but at the same time it still hurts. I'm curvy, I'm bigger than most of my friends, so my first instinct is like, oh, they don't want a bigger girl. This past summer I was at a hostel and I saw these guys. I went to introduce myself and I was standing next to this girl that was just like complete Victoria's Secret, like the old Victoria's Secret supermodel vibes. And I was like, hi, I'm Juliana. And while he was shaking my hand, he was literally looking at her being like, nice to meet you. And you guys, I got so mad. After that, he didn't talk to me again, and I got so mad. I left the bar, and I wrote, like, slam poetry on my phone. I can show you if you want to see it. Because it was so many years of, like, pent-up anger and frustration that I feel like I didn't even get the chance to introduce myself. I didn't even get the chance to, like, meet them and let them get to know me. I felt like I was cast aside, and I felt like I didn't have any inherent value to men because I wasn't skinny, which is, horrible. Any of my other curvy mid-sized people that want to vent or tell me what you think about this, let me know. I'd love to know if I'm not alone in this.
Okay, this chick is clearly just playing victim. I mean, I've seen so many of these girls do this where they are not bad looking. They are really not even that overweight, maybe just a few pounds overweight, but nothing that would keep her from dating a lot of dudes, right? She has a nice face, pretty face. Shoot, I would even talk to this chick, right? I mean, she does not look like she's like that overweight. She's still young, and you know, I know what she's doing here because I see, again, a lot of girls do this. They try to they try to victimize themselves so that they can relate to all these other women these days that are playing victim. For some reason, they're like completely, like feminists especially, they're really selling women on victim culture, like, oh girl, you know, and you know, you're disenfranchised and you're being oppressed. No you're not. Right? No you're not in 2024. Okay, definitely not in 2024, and definitely not in any Western country, definitely not here in the United States. You have all the rights and then some, if not more rights than men in many ways, right? Are there double standards? Of course, there's always going to be double standards, but
yeah, but those double standards typically make sense. Like they're logical. And like I've said in the past, is they usually line up with like biology, like evolution. Those are the double standards that benefit men usually line up, and they usually make sense. But then you also start getting into double standards that don't make sense, which usually lean into women's favor, which are just a result of, yeah, like a gynocentric world. It's like a woman first world. I guess you could almost, not to sound like a feminist, but it's like kind of like a matriarchy in a way, even though I don't know if it is or not, but it's certainly, I think matriarchy is synonymous with like gynocentrism and egalitarianism, so it might be a good word to use.
You know what? Life is inherently unfair. Winners, people who are winners, they overcome and achieve regardless of the circumstances, right? They don't care about the odds. They just go out there and win. That's why we call them winners. Losers, on the other hand, will look for any excuse possible to play victim and give you all the excuses and reasons why they can't succeed. This is why I can't stand losers, especially in 2024, because again, we're not living in, you know, the dark ages here or medieval times, right? Give me a break if you can't succeed. You're just a loser if you can't get by in 2024, right? I mean, I didn't grow up with money. I didn't come from money. We grew up, you know, struggling financially. I didn't get the best grades. My siblings all were straight A students. I just, you know, and I got yelled at a lot because my mom was a teacher and I just didn't do well in school. However, when it came to real life, I kicked ass, right? So much so that I'm driving a Lambo right now and I've got a successful business. Why? Because I don't make excuses, right? Was I born in the right skin color, the right gender, the right height, I don't know. I mean, I've been this height my entire life. I'm under 6 feet tall. What can I say? I'm 5'10", 5'11". Ooh, You know, it's never stopped me. That's what God gave me, and you know what? I'm going to work with it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to get some kind of surgery. This is what God gave me. I'm appreciative. I love it. I'm thankful. I feel blessed, and I just go with what I have, right?
Nice. Good talk. Yeah, I mean, that chick was not that overweight, was she? She was not, she wasn't, I mean, she was kind of overweight, but it's like, okay, if it's that big of a deal, you realize you can just stop eating as much, right? And you won't be as overweight. I don't know how much she weighs here. Don't know. I guess her face is a little chunky. But again, don't let this devolve, this, conversation she's presenting here, or what she's saying. I'm sure in the comments it's devolving into a unrealistic beauty standard that are set on women. And as much as women want to go around saying that stuff, it's like, okay, this is kind of probably how a lot of broke men feel. It's like, oh, the woman left me for a guy who makes a lot more money. And it's a lot harder to make a lot of money than it is to just lose some weight. Like, if you're really that pressed on the issue, just stop eating as much, Get healthier. It'll be good for your blood pressure. It'll be good for your body, your heart, your lungs, everything. It's just best that if you're really that upset on the issue, just go to the gym. Lose some weight. All right, let's not play the victim here and get all the sisterhood together complaining and, oh, men are so unrealistic. And honestly, can these women really say anymore that there's an unrealistic beauty standard set on women? Because I don't really think you can, because you look everywhere. The messaging is not that. It's full of body positivity and got Lizzo. Pretty sure even notice how she said the old, look at what we're seeing here. It says the old Victoria's Secret supermodel vibes. Why did she have to say old? Because the new ones are overweight. The new ones are not thin. They're not skinny. They're really not hot, are they? I think they might be going back to it, probably because they are on the verge of bankruptcy or they're losing money and nobody really wants to buy Victoria's Secret anymore because the models are overweight. So they really can't say this shit anymore. They can't say that there's an unrealistic beauty standard set on men or women, because there isn't. It's full of body positivity and no fat shaming. We need fat women as models now. Let's get to it. So, but shit, I would say there might be an unrealistic financial standard set on men. I don't know. You hear a lot of women saying they want providers nowadays. And that used to make a lot of sense when women weren't working and there were less workers and men were getting paid a good salary in comparison to the cost of living. But nowadays, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Everything's going up. Salaries aren't going up. People aren't necessarily getting paid more, but the cost of living certainly is. It's incredibly difficult to support one household on one income. Certainly. But yeah, I think that's where I'll end this video here. If you enjoyed that, I would appreciate a subscription. Go check out the 33 Secrets as well. Matt over there. He's got some good videos. I enjoy listening to him here and there. Anyways, see you later.